Welcome back to Biliah Suits. And when I was a kid, waking up on Saturday mornings to watch your favorite Saturday morning cartoons was considered awesome. Now today, I'm gonna do a rant. Today I'm not ranting. I'm gonna do a salute video on old classic commercials. Today, people don't barely watch commercials because, for one, they don't have the time to sit down and, watch the commercials, see how inventive they were. They just get up and go use the bathroom. But yet again, we have to see the creativity. And a commercial's love dream was always been the Super Bowl. In the late 70s, and somewhere throughout the early 80s, the commercial's love dream was the Super Bowl. That's why everybody, including me, enjoys the Super Bowl, even up to this day. And there's commercials both for kids and adults, but the best ones were for kids. Seeing how kids have low attention span, they had to make it fast-paced, wacky, original, and fun. But the best commercial during the decade was the 90s commercial. Don't get me wrong, other decade commercials were great too. It's just that the 90s commercials were better and more nostalgic, and it had that and at this time it had that jazzy feel. It had that Fresh Prince Bel-Air jazzy feel and that rock and roll Slayer feel that we all felt as a kid in the 90s. So I'm gonna quit my yapping and I'm gonna tell you my top 15 commercials. Number 15, the Banjo-Tooie commercial. I love the Banjo-Kazooie franchise, except for Nuts and Bolts, by the way. Piece of shit! But the Banjo-Tooie commercial was great. In this commercial, we see, it's great to finally hear Banjo speaking in English. And we see him going on a skydiving adventure. But wait, once he gets off the plane, there's no Kazooie. And once he falls, does he, dies? No, he just knocks down and faints. And while Kazooie just sits there and say, hell no, I'm not picking up your butt. This commercial is a classic and I never get tired of it. The Donkey Kong 64 commercial. Yeah, back in the 90s, I may be a Sega kid, but heck, the Donkey Kong series was the first Nintendo series I ever got into when I was a kid. Yeah, everybody got into Mario and Zelda, but the Donkey Kong franchise is where it at. But anyway, this commercial was very nostalgic at its own best. This commercial shows a bunch of fruits being flying everywhere, and also everybody's having chaos at the party of Y2K. They mostly blame Donkey Kong and his crew of monkeys because they mostly drove bananas, oranges, pineapples, and barrels around. And it has memorable quotes. Heaven help us all. What I like about this commercial, it's so nostalgic, is that because I used to go to a friend's house, and my elementary school friend his name is Kion, and he used to have a Nintendo 64 until it broke around 2003. And we always used to play this game. And not only that, this commercial aired on the last episode of Pokemon. And I think it was around the Kanto era. But this commercial is always classic as well too. And it has the best memorable quotes. The Mario Party commercial. Everybody says that Mario Party 6 is the best commercial because it has a live-action Bowser. But I say this commercial, a Mario Party, was classic. The first game as well too. It finally shows a good, decent CGI Mario in a live-action world where he's having a party with teenagers until the cops comes and says, "Oh, have you seen a guy named Mario? And then Mario comes up and says, "It's a me, Mario!" And that's when the commercial starts and Mario goes to jail. So I wonder why he caused all that trouble in Mario Sunshine. Piece of shit! This commercial is always great to watch too. And the music, the rock and roll music shows us how the 90s were awesome. I had a hard time picking two favorite commercials I like: the Pokemon Stadium commercial and Metroid Prime. But since I flipped a coin, and since I don't really like Pokemon that much, I picked the Metroid Prime commercial. Even though I don't have the game, I've seen the reviews, and it's freaking awesome! All I gotta say is that the Metroid Prime series is awesome by Retro Studios, and I wish Retro Studios made Metroid Other, and piece of shit, Team Ninja doesn't know nothing. Well, anyway, about this commercial, it shows a live version of Samus Aran doing live stunts and everything, and bam, that's when the game starts. Yeah, this commercial is short, but it just tells us how the early 2000s were back in our day. And also, it's great to see Samus Aran, or whatever woman's in that costume, doing her hot stunts. Number 11, the Super Smash Bros. Commercial. Oh lord, every video that talks down their favorite commercial has to put this commercial. You basically see all your Nintendo characters skipping around with each other until Mario tricks Yoshi, and all heck gets loose. DK throws a barrel at Mario, Yoshi kicks Pikachu in the air, Link stabs the shore up his Ash's butt, and everything. And Fox McCloud just shoots everywhere, and bam, that's when the game starts. This commercial was classic like the Banjo-Tooie commercial, and I never get tired of it. I had a hard time choosing an individual Mario commercial other than the Mario Party commercial. But I think the Mario 64 commercial is great. But if I had to choose one, choose the Japanese commercial. This commercial, yeah, it doesn't really have that much dialogue, but heck, this commercial has to show you the gameplay where it's at. Well, mainly it shows the mainly it plays the Starman theme throughout the whole commercial, and pretty much Mario's flying around the wing cap, and it shows all the gameplay. Then Mario gets the last star. He says, "Here we go!" And that's when bam, that's when the game starts. This commercial is always awesome. This commercial is always awesome, and I never get tired of it as well too. Number 9, the Zelda dance commercial. Yeah, the Ocarina of Time commercial is great because they plays the Lost Woods theme epically. All the other Zelda commercials were great, but Link to the Past commercials was freaking awesome! What do I have to say about this commercial? Mainly, it shows a live-action version of Link trying to rescue the princess, but oh, just wait! He's dancing in front of Ganondorf. Well, it's a Japanese commercial, so you gotta understand. Yeah, so it's mainly a Zelda dance party. Zelda's dancing in the cage, shows the gameplay, and bam, that's when the game starts and everything. I like this commercial because mainly, for one, it's just hilarious to see everybody in the Zelda dance universe, everybody in the Zelda universe dancing all crazy and having a dance party. You don't need dialogue. This proves that Nintendo doesn't need dialogue in their commercials, nor voice acting. This commercial was great, and I always replay it ever since. Number 8, the Bomberman Hero /64 commercial. What do I have to say about this commercial? Well, Hudson Soft did a great job by by spilling in the Spider-Man theme, but reversing it. Yeah, it's a copyright issue, but heck, this was in the fucking 90s I'm talking about. And the FCC didn't attack us unlike today. But yes, I will get to the Sopa rant later. Well, anyway, yeah, the first one's just a traditional Spider-Man theme, but Spider-Man Hero commercial is all hardcore and its epicness at its finest best. Number 7, the Conker's Bad Fur Day commercial. This one's a little dark. This commercial shows a blonde woman sitting in a dirty bed with infested roaches, and she's talking about last night at her party that she had sex with a squirrel. I guess Rare really wanted to make 3D platformers not cutesy and friendly. Oh, what the heck! This commercial was awesome as well, and I really do want Conker's Bad Fur Day, even though I got a Nintendo 64 and I don't have that game in my collection yet, but I will anyway. Number 6, the Sega Genesis / CD commercial. Now you know this is the first commercial I seen as a kid. So it's obviously that I have to put this commercial in. Mainly in this commercial, let me tell you about the Sega Genesis commercial. In this commercial, this guy has two TVs, and he compares the Sega Genesis with the Super Nintendo. Until some kid was playing the Castlevania 4 remake, until he was surprised by, of course, how Sonic Speed was. He was decided to himself, would you rather play a 16-bit remake and play a gaming system that has the best sound chip and graphics, or would you just play a very fast-paced game with intense platforming and go through loops? I don't pick what the kid picked. Yeah, it's a guilty pleasure to watch this commercial, since how, I never owned a Super Nintendo when I was a little kid, but heck, this commercial is always great for nostalgia. And the Sega CD commercial is great as well, too. Let me talk about that commercial. Well, after the success of the Sega Genesis around 1991, 1993 came out when I was born, and mainly this commercial is all funny as heck. It shows a black guy saying to this white dude, saying, "Hey, yo, have you ever tried the Sega CD?" And he said, "Huh?" He said, "You expect Nintendo to make one?" So the games just go flying in the air with all the 5 classic games: Sonic CD, Night Trap, Wonder Dog, and Time Girl, all mixed in the blender. And also, the Angry Video Game Nerd did a parody out of it. I don't know which one's better, the original or the Angry Video Game Nerd, so go check it out. Number 5, the Sega Dreamcast commercial. Mainly in this commercial, it has all your favorite Sega characters doing a dance club and DJ party hosted by Sonic. But oddly about this commercial, it had Capcom characters as well too, like E Honda and Chris Redfield. Well, this was the late 90s, so yeah. So after the mid-90s, Capcom abandoned Nintendo and tried to help Sega in the software department, but sadly, around 2002, Sega had to quit the hardware department. Wow, it shows that Capcom was trying to work hard with Sega in the gaming industry. Unlike today, when they canceled Mega Man Legends. Piece of shit. Seriously, Capcom, bring back Mega Man for Christ's sakes. This commercial is always epic to watch as well too. Number 4, the Kirby 64 / Kirby Canvas commercial. Yeah, this commercial is pretty much a tie as well too. Let me explain about the Kirby 64 commercial. The Kirby 64 commercial is mainly about a woman explaining what Kirby is, but she doesn't really know. So Kirby eats all the cats and dogs, and yeah, maybe a little bit dark, but it's hilarious as best, and it plays the cutest music near the end that will always be stuck in your head. Da, 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 Also, the Kirby Candace curse commercial. What do I have to say about this commercial? Just look at this commercial. This commercial is so fun. It has the most memorable theme song throughout this scene. I say good morning, you say good night. So yeah, this commercial is great, and it made me kind of weird seeing Kirby walk around with a giant finger, or penis for that matter. But heck, this commercial is always nostalgic, and I always sing the song right after it. Number 3, Ratchet Deathlock. Yeah, you'd expect the PlayStation commercial to be in this list. So yeah, I like the other Ratchet Clank commercials and other PlayStation commercials as well, but this is the best. It shows a guy getting teased and saying that he can't play golf until he alerts Mark and Greed and kills them. Wow, this commercial is a little dark as well. But heck, it's fun. I always love the music. Thank you for being my friend! Number 2, the little black kid Dorito commercial. Mainly in this commercial, it shows a guy coming to her girlfriend's house until he realized that she has a son. So the guy hangs out with his son until the little black kid says, "Don't you ever touch my Doritos or my mama ever again." I had a hard time picking my favorite Dorito commercial. If it's, the late night Doritos commercial and the little black kid commercial, but I'm gonna go with this. Even though the late night Doritos commercial had a memorable theme and jingle, this one's hilarious and I never get tired of it. And my number 1 commercial is The Magical About commercial by The Sunny Side of Truth. This commercial is just freaking awesome! Even though it's from 2008, 2008 was an epic year. Even though 2008 was a part of the modern age, I remember living that year than the year 2011. And heck, 2008 was the first year when I went to high school. So you guys realize where I'm coming. This commercial shows 2 guys protesting for tobacco and smoking and how it's bad until this horse comes. It says, "That's why you need the magical amount," and then everybody starts singing, and then the audience end up saying, "Are you high?" There were sequels about that as well too, with the stork and a typo commercial, but I rather stick with the original. It's too bad it's gonna get removed off of YouTube in a couple of years though, because of SOPA. So I suggest that you check it out right now. Like I said, commercials maybe scrolled over the years, and there's some modern day commercials I like during this year, but it's the commercials in my childhood and before my childhood I always get mostly entertained of. I'm Biliah and I'm signing out.